You may proceed.
No, Council,
May I take you to...
you can take me through something.
Yes.
Because the conversations have now ended.
Yes.
On the strength of exhibit of volume 3.
Yes. JP, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions before we close. We're lucky that we will. I want to take you back to where you started. When these conversations, private conversations, were publicized or were to be publicized, what did you do?
The starting point is that I was gutted, as I said in my answering affidavit, that conversations of this nature between two adults, in my view, adults who were consenting to what they were talking about, had now become the subject of a status picture by or at the instance of the complainant. So my concern was this thing is disseminated and it is damaging. So the starting point was, and this is what I thought of, you know what? It is an offense for one to disseminate stuff between two people without the consent of the other person. Be that as it may, I did not follow that route because I was highly embarrassed. I did not want to be very technical about it. I sought a way of having that status picture or those status pictures that were circulating virally stopping. That is why I made an endeavor to speak to the complainant. I think it must have been Sunday, the 4th of December 2022.
Right. What else did you do about it apart from attempting to speak to the complainant?
One of the things that I remember doing, because I thought the way in which these were viral would reach the Chief Justice, who is the head of the judiciary. On Tuesday, the 6th, I think, I flew to Joburg. 6th of December 2022.
Yes.
I spent 7 minutes with the Chief Justice at his office, Constitutional Hill. I expressed myself in relation to what was circulating, and I said to him, this is viral, it may reach him. He said, well, you know what, I'm not deep into WhatsApp stuff, I don't even know about it. And then I said, well, I thought I should make you aware that there's something of this nature, and in the event that anything of this sort becomes formalized, I will then deal with it. His response was simple. It was that, well, JP, these things do happen to people. You must be careful in the sense that you've got to pray hard. It may be that, well, put it this way, he shared a few experiences about allegations being made about people. And then he said to me, if you believe in God, this is time for you to pray hard. I spent something like 7 to 10 minutes and then I walked out. That was it between the CJ and I on the 6th. So he was merely receiving what I was telling him. He was telling me that he has received nothing, and I was simply saying to him, this thing may circulate until it reaches his desk. When I say his desk, I mean his phone, in the sense that it may circulate and he may see that a member of the judiciary is engaged in certain chats such as were circulated. And to mitigate the embarrassment, I thought I should be proactive and say to the Chief Justice, be mindful, this may happen. These things may reach your phone. But he said to me, look, I'm not deep into WhatsApp stuff. I am very illiterate when it comes to that. We parted ways. I flew back to East London on the same day.
Your testimony has also been about pictures and conversations, embarrassing pictures alleged. Have you done anything about them?
About what?
About those pictures? Have you reported any case?
Yes, I did open a case of criminal injuria against the complainant in relation to the alleged event of 15, now 14 or 15, I'm not sure, but I have opened a criminal injuria case. And also in relation to pictures that I did not send to her, I have done that.
And there's
all I can say is, in answer to your question, yes, there is a case that I've opened, but I'm not saying it is relevant to these proceedings. But what I can say is it shows my commitment to disputing what I'm said to have done.
I want to go back to what may seem like you justifying what others call unreasonable persistence. It was suggested at some point that culture is used to justify harassment. How do you see the accusation that you were persisting
That I was persisting with?
with this flirting? You were persisting for a long time. You talked about the role of persisting in courting. How did you understand your persisting?
I can only start off by explaining what was said to me and it. Partly, my persistence stemmed from that, but there is this notion of philosophical perspective that you are engaged in relation to which you are engaging me. This thing about persistence. Looked at from the Eurocentric perspective, one may then say, when you persist, you harass. I don't understand it that way. It is a perspective that does not appreciate my culture. And I'm putting aside the issue about the complainant having said, and it.
Yes. Your answers in these proceedings indicate that, in a nutshell, you are disputing the legitimacy of this complaint. Am I correct?
To the extent that a complaint that is laced up with lies, in my view, should not have seen the doors of the JSC as a starting point. A complaint that is laced up with lies, that is founded on lies, ought not to be entertained. But I know that at that particular point in time, it must have been a challenge on the part of those who have had to decide to simply reject things that were said about me right out of hand. So the point I am simply making is that a complaint that is tainted by lies is not a valid complaint. I say so notwithstanding the fact that I am here to testify, because I didn't have to be technical about it.
For those who think that life can never be the same, for both of you, why would she do that? Why do you think she would do that?
Who? The complainant?
The complainant.
Pursue a complaint
That you call false. Why
Yes.
would she do that?
I can only speculate, and I'm not sure I'm entitled to do that. But what I can say is simply that, looking at it now in its proper context or perspective in hindsight. So there were these charts between June 2021 and February 2022, which I believe are flirtatious. The charts are wanted. There's nothing about them being unwanted. Whoever she may...
Sorry, let me write those days. Okay. Because 1 minute I remember them, the next one I don't.
Come again?
The days, flirtation starting when and then ending when.
For the sake of completeness, the flirtatious talks between the complainant and I commenced in around June 2021. And ended around February 2022. May I refer the tribunal to page 69 of the consolidated bundle?
Before you do that, while I have this file in front of me, which we've been going through this afternoon, page 1275.
Yes.
I'm not so sure whether earlier on, when you stopped there, you said that was the end of the exchange of WhatsApp messages.
Indeed. Indeed. Now I'm moving on to fortify my answer.
No, I'm still writing my notes.
Thank you.
Just give me time.
I will. Sorry, Chairperson.
Thank you.
Page 69, the consolidated bundle. Paragraph 3 of my affidavit. Page 69. Paragraph 3. I engaged in WhatsApp exchanges with Ms. Mengo from approximately June 2021 to February 2022. page 69. So that was my response before the JCC. My version has now found support to the extent that we've got up to page 1275, which points to 18 February 2022 as having been the last date. At that particular moment, I was simply expressing myself, telling the truth as far as I knew things. And that affidavit was deposed to and attested on 24 March 2023, long before Mr. Mola was given our telephones to check these charts.